So, hi, I'm still Francisco Perez Arce. So now I'm going to talk about the comprehensive file. So I mentioned in passing when I showed you the visualization that the data comes from the comprehensive file. So now I'm going to talk about what the comprehensive file is. The comprehensive file is one data set, a single data set that combines data from all of the core surveys in the UAS. So what is a core survey? So we define a core survey as one of the surveys that we field to the UAS to all UAS panel members in repeated ways. So we field 15 of these core surveys that are fielded approximately every 2 years. Most of these surveys have been fielded since the UAS was formed in 2015. So overall, we have this create quite a nice longitudinal data on a wide range of topics. The idea is to have a single file that helps you navigate the UAS. So you can use it to do research on its own, just using the comprehensive file with all the 4 ways that we currently have for the 15 core surveys, or you can use it to add to one of the other surveys. So maybe you have one survey that you fielded in the UAS and you want to add a bunch of covariates. The comprehensive file is the place to go to just add a lot of data in one with just a single data. It has 15 surveys. 6 of them are devoted to fielding the entire HRS instrument. So Marco briefly mentioned the Health and Retirement Study Instrument, which is a very detailed instrument through which we collect data on health insurance, disability, healthcare expenditures, but also on work, income, assets, retirement, pension plans, and many more. We also field 9 additional core surveys on top of that, which are on a wide-ranging set of topics, including financial behavior, social security and disability programs, personality, life satisfaction, financial literacy, and more. To give you a sense of the type of variables that we have, under the social security surveys, we have things like knowledge test scores about social security knowledge, information about how people access information from social security, knowledge about the disability programs. The household finance surveys has data on decision-making about personal spending, savings and planning, ability to cope with unexpected financial shocks, and the CFPB Financial Wellbeing Index, which I just showed you under the visualization. The comprehensive file includes a 14-item financial literacy test. We have the big 5 personality traits, life satisfaction by domain. And we also have a range of scores from cognitive ability tests, including on picture vocabulary, verbal analogies, and numbers. One key feature of the comprehensive file is that it includes constructed variables. So by this, I mean variables that are built, that are programmed by us from many individual survey items from the raw data. So especially things like income and wealth, if you want to measure them well, you need to ask a lot of questions about different sources of income or different assets and the value of these assets, etc. So we kind of do that work for you. Most of these constructed variables are from the HRS, but we have also some constructed variables from non-HRS survey, including the Retirement Preparedness Index and others. Just to give you a sense of how much work this can save you. So to get at a single measure of wealth, you need to value all the different assets that people can have. And to value each of these assets, you need to ask a number of questions about whether they have the asset, what type of asset it is, what the value is. If they don't know the value, then you ask them to give some ranges and estimates, and you do some imputations, etc. So this is very useful, I think. Before I talk to you about the structure of the data set, I just want to mention a little bit about the timing of the core surveys. So people, when they join the UAS as a panelist, they're invited to answer a few of these core surveys. And as they answer some, they get invited to a few more. Once a panelist answers one round of the survey, or is invited to answer one round of the survey, 2 years from that moment, they're going to be invited to answer the following round. So say someone joins in May of 2022, and then in July of 2022 is invited to answer the disability survey. They will answer the version that's current at that time. And then 2 years from then, so in June of 2024, they're going to be invited to answer the next round of that survey. But because panelists are joining at different points in time, and also take different times to answer, to how long they take to answer surveys, they're going to be answering all the surveys at different times. So you get kind of semi-continuous responses to the surveys throughout the 2-year period. So when we launch a new wave, it's not like everybody's answering the wave in, say, July of 2022. We get responses throughout the 2-year period. Variable names, the commensal file is a wide data set, meaning there's only one row per respondents, and then the variables names contain kind of the wave information and the wave. The variable names are modeled on the RAND HRS structure, which is, it starts with a survey letter. The first letter on the variable indicates which survey it comes from, and then the wave number, and then the variable name. So the survey letter, for example, if it comes from the knowledge of Social Security, it starts with a K, then the wave number. The wave number is going to go from 12 to 15. We start with 12 to be kind of on the same time as the HRS was. Because when we started, the HRS was in the wave 12. And then the variable name, which is usually the same variable name that it had in the core survey, unless it's a constructed variable specifically for this data set, in which case it has its own new name. We also have some variables that are time invariant, so that things like when you were born, that would hopefully not change across time. So we just have an array and then the number of year. And we also have weights for each wave. So we have weights so that allows you to create estimates for the whole population in the period of time of the wave that you are looking at. The correspondence between waves and years varies a little bit by topic or by survey. So for instance, the variables that come from the HRS have this correspondence. R12, the first wave goes from responses, so it's data from 2015 to 2017. And it goes like that to R15, which is 2021 to 2023. There are a slight difference between topics because surveys are answered at different times. So for instance, the disability survey, that's a new survey. It started in 2021. So we started with wave 14, which was the most recent wave at that time. And then this year we'll launch the new wave. It will be wave 15 and so on. So how to do longitudinal analysis? One way of doing longitudinal analysis is by just simply comparing the same variable across waves. So this is, for instance, the approach in Alatar et al. 2019, which is a paper in the Social Security Bulletin that studies the evolution of Social Security knowledge across the first 2 waves. And here, if you just compare 2 waves, you're basically comparing periods that are approximately 2 years apart. So comparing the period from 2015, 2016 with the period of 2017 to 2018. But in some cases, you're going to want to do something a bit more specific about shorter time periods. So the comprehensive file provides the data of when each survey was answered. So if you were interested in breaking it up to different periods, you can go to that. Variable and construct your time groups, your dates as you wish. So just to show you an example where this is a paper with Marco and Ari that we're looking at, trying to look at how the pandemic has changed how people view their probabilities of working at older ages. And here we're really taking advantage of the fact that we get data throughout the period and not just as a single period in time. So we're comparing respondents that answered after the pandemic from before the pandemic. So we divided our sample into 4-month periods, and we can see that as you get post-pandemic, as you get to the post-pandemic periods, you see a lower subjective probability of working at older ages. There's many things like this you can do. You can also do it by year. We have created, and we're going to post soon another weight data set that allows you to create weights that are specific for the year, so that you can use that as well. And that's it. So Marco showed you a little bit how where in the website things are. So you can go to the special data sets, and there's a link there to the comprehensive file. So if you click that, it will take you to the comprehensive file page, where you can find the links to download the data and the documentation. We update the data every 3 months. So the newest release is going to come in March. And in the web page, we also have a little section where we say what's new in each section. So hope everyone downloads the data and uses it. Thank you.